starts now.
OK, hi, everyone. Please raise your hand, the ones of you that are between 30 and 55 years old. OK, quite a lot. Thank you. So sorry to bring you bad news, but 60% of you have subclinical atherosclerosis. So this means that you have cholesterol plaques in your arteries, even if you don't have symptoms. Why should you worry about this? Because this is the main cause of cardiovascular disease. Maybe now you are thinking that if this is true, the healthcare system will detect it. Sorry again, but no. It has been shown that for 58% of subclinical atherosclerosis patients, current clinical scores evaluate them as low risk, so they are not tested, and therefore they remain undetected. So if we combine 60% of prevalence with 58% of undiagnosed atherosclerosis, we have that 35% of you have undiagnosed atherosclerosis, so you remain uncontrolled by the medical system, even if you are at risk. So getting a little more in detail, in this range of 30 to 55 years old, we have that 35% of the population have no atherosclerosis, so you don't need to worry. 5% of them have atherosclerosis, but with symptoms, so the healthcare system will detect it, and therefore they will be evaluated and properly controlled at the specialized units at the hospitals. But then we have 60% of the population that have atherosclerosis but no symptoms, and here we have two groups. 25% of them will be evaluated as medium or high risk score, and then they will also be properly controlled, but 35% of them will be evaluated as low risk score and not controlled at all. And we want to solve this. So this population is also properly controlled at the specialized units at the hospitals. How to do this? We need a screening that can be done in primary care settings to discriminate between the healthy patients and the patients that are also evaluated as low risk score, but actually have atherosclerosis with no symptoms. So in order to do this, we have taken advantage of recent clinical research that shows that there are vascular patterns in the retina that correlates highly with cardiovascular risk. This could be analyzed in primary care settings, but we have two problems. The first one is that sometimes in some facilities there is not a retinography device available. For this, we have built retinal lens, a lens that you can use directly on your smartphone to take a validated retinography. Second problem is that primary care physicians do not have the expertise to evaluate, to search for these vascular patterns. So for this, we have built an AI model that is able to automatically analyze retinographies to predict for the presence of atherosclerosis. With these two components, we have our product Atheroscope. So now we're able to discriminate between the healthy patients and the patients that have atherosclerosis without symptoms using Atheroscope to analyze retinas in primary care settings. With only 5% of false positives, people that will be evaluated even if they are healthy, and only 3% of false negatives, people that will remain undetected. But now we're able to diagnose correctly and control 32% of this population. This is not a small feat. We are talking here about more than 1 billion people that before were undiagnosed. So what is the market traction of our product? We are already working with 16 health facilities, which accounts for a total annual recurrent revenue of almost €500,000. We expect to increase this to 2.5 million by 2026, and the total addressable market of our product is estimated to be above €4,600 million. So we are four founders at the company. Carolina Espejos is a cardiologist and has a PhD in medical surgical science. She's our chief scientific officer. Guillem Batiste, he has a degree in medicine and also in mathematics, and later specialized in deep learning, where he's one of our technical leaders. Yvonne Gala, that although she has a technical background because she has a PhD in artificial intelligence, she acts as our chief marketing officer because she has plenty of experience in this area, having been the leader of the commercial department at Iberia Express for several years. And finally, myself, I have a PhD in artificial intelligence, and I am the CEO of the company. So thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to answer your questions.